Welcome to Honest Whispers Unboxing and Inspection. On this video, I'll be unboxing and inspecting DC Comics Posket Wonder Woman Special Color Version, released by Banpresto in March 14th, 2019. It is a pre-painted figure made out of ABS and PVC, approximately 5.5 inches tall, in chibi style, which is basically big head, small body. And Banpresto is a subdivision of Bandai, which they make a lot of good Dragon Ball Z and One Piece figures. So I'm going to go ahead and open this. I actually bought this from Big Bad Toy Store. They are sold out right now, but you can buy this from other websites or other web stores like Amazon, Entertainment Earth, so on and so forth. And this one looks like it's been taped, factory sealed with 3 tapes. 2 on the side, 1 in the back. Same goes with the bottom, has the label there on the bottom. Minor crease in the box, but I don't mind. I did buy this as a standard grade. So I'm going to go ahead and make a small or a very careful incision here. And rather than pushing through, I'm going to go ahead and just kind of poke the edge. And then I'll slide through. And then for the side, I'll probably do the same. I'm going to go ahead and lie it on its side so that it's on very tight. I don't want to cut the edge. So just like that. And then I'll go ahead and this one's not as tight. And there it is. Got the incision. And this, I don't want to put my thumb in and just crease the box. I do want to try to keep it as careful. And the box is pretty very, it's cardboard, but it's very thin type of cardboard. And as far as the tape goes, usually I'll just kind of peel it off. And if it leaves any residue, as you might have seen in my other videos, I would didn't really leave any kind of sticky adhesive residue, but usually I'll just go ahead and use the same tape and dab it out, and then that way I'll get a nice smooth surface without any kind of stickiness that's left behind. And I'm kind of curious how they box this. Looks like there is an inside cardboard box in here. Let me see if I can use gravity to pull this down. I'll go ahead and close this box and use it as my background. Now, it's not a complete, like a box. Looks like they kind of just taped everything up like this. It does feel somewhat loose inside. So I'm just going to go ahead and looking at this, I'll probably just cut the tape right there and open it so I can just pull the figure out without dismantling the whole inner box. And the way it's packed, it kind of reminds me of like a giant Gashapon figure. It looks like it is separated into a couple pieces. I'm seeing the base, kind of like a little, I guess that's probably for the hair. Got the head and then the body all separated. So the special color version, the only difference is that the colors are a little bit brighter. The blue is more like a royal blue rather than the regular or the normal version, which her Star Spangled panties are navy blue. So with this, rather than using a X-Acto knife, I'm just gonna go ahead and cut this out with the actual scissors. So I'm gonna go ahead and make sure all the pieces are on one side, and just go ahead and slice it through once I get a nice little angle there. So first things first, let's go ahead and take out the base. No instructions or anything, it is pretty self-explanatory. I think there's some oily residue here, which just makes it slippery. I don't know, whoever packed it might have had their fingers all oily and stuff. I'm gonna go ahead and get a paper towel just to kind of wipe this down. As you can see here, you can see some of the oily residue that's been left behind. And I want to just kind of wipe it down so that when I'm touching the figure, I don't want to get the oily residue all over it. Probably just kind of wipe this down here. Might have to wash my hands again. But the base has like a floral, kind of like a floral design. I'm seeing like little leaves and stuff around it, and then it has the Posket logo, and then of course the holes for the figure and the little brace right there. So with the magic of editing, I went ahead and washed my hands just so I don't spread the oily residue going on here. So like, especially when I'm about to touch the figure itself, can't really tell if there's any oily stuff. And since I just washed my hands, I'm just gonna go ahead and wipe this down. And before I put this on, I'm gonna go ahead and assemble the figure. Looking at the body, I'm liking it already. Again, very consistent in quality as far as figures from, like Japanese made company, or figures made by Japanese companies. I mean, even the paint, the way it's all glossy, at least for her top, looks like they did a matte finish for her boots, her panties, and even the gold just kind of has a bit of a shine to it. And of course the bulletproof bracelets, not as glossy, so I like how there's like a degree of shine to a certain part and less on other parts. The paint lines, very consistent. I mean, if there's any errors at all, I really have to look closely at it. I mean, the worst thing I see is probably right here. If I can get that focused for you. It's right there, just on the boot line on the bottom. And that's not even that bad. It's like, I mean, I have to look really closely, really close up at it. So let's see how well it fits. So it looks like I have to kind of squeeze in the legs a bit before I do that. Again, I don't want to put this in, and then next thing I know, I can't put the brace in there. So next thing I will do is go ahead and put the head on. Again, very nicely done. Eyes are very glossy. Tiara, glossy finish. Rest of the face, matte finish. And very consistent on the lines. Nothing's offset. I'm not seeing any paint going over the border. I mean, it's such high quality. I'm very happy with it already. So it looks like all the holes, they're kind of they have a hexagon shape to it. I'm not really seeing a hexagon shape on this. This is circular. The hole is hexagon. So I guess they made it so you could kind of be able to, yeah, you could turn her head and you'll feel like a little, each side of the hexagon kind of gives you that extra, how you say, it almost like locks in its place. So it's sort of nice design, really. Oh no, don't want to damage it just by dropping it, but it is pretty sturdy. Head is pretty heavy, so no wonder they have a brace for it. Let me see how this would actually go ahead of time. I'm thinking, it's funny because it doesn't have instructions, but here we go. So what I did is I'm trying to match it up so it looks like it goes right there. Of course, if I try any other side, I'll get some weird spacing or stuff like that. And there are some grooves that kind of looks like the hairlines, so that probably makes sense. And looking at it like that, I would probably put this in first. And then again, I don't want to scratch it up on the ground or anything like that. So don't want to press onto the lasso. I want to go ahead and so again, if you look at the pegs, the hole, you just have to squeeze the leg in a little bit. And once I do, I'm going to go ahead and press it by the foot rather than by pushing her head. I'll go ahead and line this up and then bring her down a bit more. Let me see if I can get that. The funny thing is, she doesn't even need the brace. She seems to be holding up without it. I want to see if I could. Looks like the hair brace basically comes in two pieces. That's interesting. I wonder why. My guess is maybe over time, because not only is she top heavy, but just by looking at the hair and everything, I guess she might end up kind of bending backwards over time. I'm gonna remove that plastic there. Let me see if I could get that down all the way, maybe. Because it looks like the foot right there isn't in all the way. So if I could get that. Again, I'm not gonna try to make this all fit so that she's holding it. I guess that's just I guess for later, after time. I mean, I wouldn't recommend displaying anything that would be in direct sunlight, but I'm just thinking, like, if it was kind of on a hot day or something, and if it was heated, I could see maybe how the figure itself will kind of bend back. So that's a good way to, just in case, keep that held. But honestly, it doesn't look like you really need it. It's not even touching it. So let's see. And just to be accurate here, let me see how it measures up as being 5.5. I guess with the base, you're looking at about 6 inches. And then just the figure itself is about 5.5. So it is quite accurate. So yeah, very happy with the quality and everything. Like I said, if it feels like a jumbo gashapon figure, really, just the way it's packed, even the price. Usually a small gashapon figure would probably go around like $6-7. A decent medium size, similar to this size, sometimes would go around maybe slightly smaller, around $10, sometimes 12. This, I bought it from Big Bad Toy Store for $24.99. Of course, now I'm seeing it in Amazon and other places for sale at about $20. So if you could find this for $20, definitely would be worth it as far as the quality and the way it looks and everything goes. I wouldn't be surprised if value goes up down the line as well. So let me go ahead and give you a closer look. Give you a nice turn. And again, it's not even touching, but I'm gonna go ahead and leave it there just in case over time it does kind of starts leaning back. Let me give you another angle with another turn. And really liking the colors, just the way it's painted and everything. So I'll probably do a full review down the road. And there you have it. Thank you for watching. Until next time. Continue reading your King James Version Bible and eat your vitamin C's daily.